Hello, let me introduce myself. My name is Aurelia Laurensa Manumbalung, student registration number 2374-201004 from class A 123 Faculty of Law, Indonesia Development University Manado. In this video, I will discuss the types of law in Indonesia. Law in Indonesia has several types of law, namely law based on its form, law based on its source, law based on its nature, law based on its place of enactment, law based on its time on enactment, law based on its form, law based on its context, and law based on how it is made. Classification of law based on its source. There are 5 types of law based on their source, namely statutory law, customary law, treaty law, jurisprudential law, and scientific law. The following is an explanation of the classification of laws according to their source. Statutory law. Statutory law, or what is known as Wetterrecht, is a type of law. Types of law that is located and stated in statutory regulations. Two customary law. Customary law, or also known as Gautain, the reg is a type of law that applies in traditional regulation or customs. Law is a set of rules in the form of regulations, both written and unwritten, which regulate human behavior in society. Nation and state, which are made by the authorities, are survive and binding, contain prohibitions and orders, and aim to release security, order, and justice. There are 2 types of law based on the form, written law and unwritten law. The following is an explanation. Written law is law that has been included in various statutory. Unwritten laws is law that applies in is believed by the community and but is not formed according to formal procedures, but is born and grows within the community. Examples of unwritten law are customary law, regulation law, and others. Treaty law. Treaty law, also known as Treaty Reg, is a type of law established by countries through an agreement between countries or a treaty. Jurisprudence law, or also known as jurisprudence reg, is a type of law that arises due to a judge decisions, which becomes the reference for the next judge in giving a decision in court. Law of science. Scientific law, or also known as Wetenscape's reg, is a type of law which is basically a form of legal science that is found in the views of famous and very influential legal experts. Three classifications of law based on their nature. There are two types of law based on their nature, namely law that compels and law that regulates. The following is an explanation of the classification of laws according to their nature. Substantive law. What is meant by substantive law is a type of law which, under any circumstances, must have absolute sanction. An example is punishment for a criminal case, so the sanction is forced to be carried out. Governing law. What is meant by governing law is the types of law that can be overturned when the parties concerned have made separate regulation is an agreement. An example is the law regarding inheritance, which can be resolved by agreement between the parties involved. 4. Classification of laws based on place of application. There are three types of law based on the place of application, namely national law, international law, and foreign law. The following is an explanation of the classification of laws according to the area of application. National law. National law is a type of law that applies within the territory of a particular country. National laws must be implemented by the citizens of the country. 2. International law. International law is a type of law that is useful for regulating legal resolution between countries in international relations. This international law applies universally, which means it can apply as a whole to countries that are bound by certain international agreements. Foreign law, namely the law that applies in the territory of another country. 5. Classification of laws based on time of enactment. There are two types of law based on the time they come into force. The following is an explanation of the classification of laws based on where they come into force. Jus constitutum, positive law, is the law that applies now and only for a certain community in a certain area. For example, the Constitution of the Republic of Indonesia. Law of the Republic of Indonesia. Republic of Indonesia Jus constitutum. Negative law. Negative law are laws that are expected to come into force in the future. For example, a draft law. 6. Classification of law based on their form. There are two types of law based on their form. Here is the explanation. Objective law. Laws that regulate relationships between two or more people that apply generally. In other words, the law in a country applies generally and does not only apply to certain people or groups. Subjective law. Laws that arise from objective law and apply to one or more people. This subjective law is also often referred to as rights. 7. Classification of law based on their context. There are two types of law based on their context, namely public law and private law. The following is an explanation of the classification of laws according to their context, companies, and so on. 8. Classification of laws based on how to maintain them. There are two types of law based on how to maintain them, namely material law and formal law. The following is an explanation of the classification of laws according to how they are defined. Material law. Material law is a type of law that regulates relations between members of society that applies generally regarding things that are permitted to be done. Examples are criminal law, civil law, commercial law, and so on. Formal law. Formal law is a types of law that regulates how to maintain and implement material law. Except formal law. Formal law is type of law that regulates how to maintain and implement material law. Examples are the criminal procedure law, civil procedure law, and so on. That's all I can say about the types of law in Indonesia. Hopefully it's useful for you. And before I end my video, I want to invite all my friends to join us at the Indonesian Development University, Manado. Come join us. Thank you for watching. See you.